Hello everyone, welcome to the UVM methodology series. This is the chapter 1 of the series, and today we will talk about the history and evolution of UVM. From my experience, I see a lot of students and professionals struggling with UVM because the history of how the system Verilog language and the UVM methodology evolved is not clear. Today we will see the brief history of the different verification languages and how the methodologies evolved. So if you see the diagram here, on the x-axis I have the years, and on the y-axis I have the verification capabilities. This will give you a good picture on the evolution of the methodology. If you see till early 2000s, the verification was mainly done using traditional Verilog bench. But with growing design size, it became difficult to have traditional Verilog bench. Hence, there was a need for a new methodology. Vera or Specman was the first verification language introduced in the market. This was quite successful. I think it is still used in a lot of companies today. System Verilog was introduced by Accelera. Accelera is basically a standards body which combines the good practices from different languages. New constructs were added to the Verilog language to make it more powerful and easy for verification. With the introduction of System Verilog, there was a need for a new methodology. The traditional System Verilog test benches were not reusable, and each EDA company started their own verification methodology and how the System Verilog language needs to be used. BMM was introduced by Synopsys. URM and ABM was introduced from Cadence and Mentor. Later, URN and AVM combined to form OVM. There was still a problem with reuse of methodology. As each methodology was vendor specific, the TB or VIP developed with any of these vendor specific methodologies were not reusable on a different simulator. So Accelera again started an initiative. They combined all the good practices from the different methodologies, and UVM was introduced. This slide basically gives you a gist of what I discussed in the previous slide. So if you see, Vera was or Specman was introduced in early 2000 and became the first verification language to cater to verification needs. Verilog was enhanced with new constructs to make it more verification friendly, and System Verilog initiative was started by Accelera. Then there was a need for methodologies. VMM was introduced by Synopsys. Cadence and Mentor as a joint effort provided a common methodology called OVM. Then there was an unification of all verification methodologies to enable reuse of verification IP on different simulators. UVM was introduced by Accelera in May 2010. So in May 2010, when the first version of the early adopter kit was released, it was based on OVM with callbacks and objection mechanism. The first version of UVM was released in March 2011 with configuration enhancements, runtime facing, inbuilt register package, which we'll all discuss later. There was also an implementation of TLM and other sequence enhancements. UVM 1.1 was released in June 2011 with some bug fixes. We can also see the ecosystem on the right. We have some of the major EDA companies supporting this methodology. We have Cadence, Mentor, Synopsys, and other VIP providers which basically complete the release and ecosystem. This brings us to the end of chapter 1 of the series. In the next series, we will see why there was a need for UVM and what are the components that constitute a UVM. Thank you.